Hold up, hold up, hold up. It's that boy G Plans. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
In 2000.
Yeah, in
I was
2000.
10 years old,
Yeah.
bro. I ain't know I was a baby.
Yeah, after that, it wasn't no real Cabo Beach party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
golly, during that time, and then you saying Beyonce and Jay Z,
Yeah,
what?
they always there at that time.
Yeah, you used to see them around. I'm pretty sure you
Well,
seen.
I had a deal with Jay-Z.
Mm.
One of my artists, K. Ruger.
Mm-hmm.
You can Google all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In 2004, we signed when Jay-Z was president of Def Jam. He signed my artist K. Ruger. K. Ruger committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? He committed suicide in it was 2004, September 2000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had a deal with Jay-Z.
Wow. And then, I saw you in the magazines, and I'm seeing all this stuff going on. Even I want to go back to Beyonce. I know Lil O had a song with them early on, and he was talking about how they was in Houston. Houston is just engulfed in culture and they have
Yeah.
so many great legendary people in it, and you are connected to all of them.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's just life.
Yeah.
It's life for me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, so it is what it is. When I've been in the business so long, my record company been around since '99. And like I was telling somebody recently, it's like I ain't just used my record company as a cover up because I've had deals.
Yeah.
You feel me? My company outside of Rap a Lot, Straight Lace is another company that's been stapled for years. You know what I'm saying? Man, like I say, I done had deals. But I fall back on just saying what God would tell me. It just wasn't my time yet.
Now, one thing I do want to acknowledge in Houston, a lot of independent entrepreneur type guys in this city. We talking from Rap a Lot, South Walker TSF, 1501, Swisher House, Screwed Up Click, Wreck Shop, Dead in the Lines, all these different.
You can't leave out Sucker Free.
Sucker Free too, tell me what I mean. And I'm just going off,
I know, yeah.
and your label fall right into
Straight
that.
Lace, yeah.
When you hear that, how did that make you feel?
Just legacy. Just legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. Just legacy. It's a Straight Lace is a brand. It's just like I said, it's God's time, and when it really make its transition into the national. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Now let's go back, bro. You got into the game early. You went did some time. How long you did? Or did you do consecutive time? Or you went?
I did. Well, when I first got in trouble, I was like 20 years old. But when I got arrested back when I was 20, they took like 800,000 out of my house and like 300,000-400,000 out of what's cars. So like I said, I've been in this. I was plugged back then. To the Gulf Cartel back then when I got in trouble. This was October 1993. You know what I'm saying? And I went in, I had a 10-year sentence, which back then the 10-year sentence was 2 years. I turned a 2-year stay into, a year. I'm talking 2 years, it was a year stay. I turned a year stay into 4 years. Because of course I went in there with the gang shit. I'm a blood. I'm still, I don't represent it like that, but I'm still a blood, but a lot of it represents ignorance, you know what I'm saying? So, but I went in on that tip, on the blood tip, and anybody know back then, going into the prison system back then, it was 10 to 1, 10 Crips against 1 blood in the prison system. You know what I'm saying? Back then, the only one that really representing blood was Stop Six.
Fort Worth Stop Six?
Fort Worth Stop Six.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was told there was a lot of Crips in Fort Worth.
Stop Six, I give that credit. Stop Six, I had a good little old partner from down there. We rocked it out at Wallace Unit. We had a whole ride. It was like 30 of us against 60, 70 Crips in the kitchen one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was always told about the Ferguson unit.
No, I went to Wallace Unit.
Well, you said I'm saying, but Wallace, Ferguson, and what's the prison that Pimp C had went to?
I can't remember which one he went to, but I know Ferguson used to be jumping back then, but then Wallace, all the West Texas prisons took over the hostility when it came to Smith Unit, Wallace Unit, it was Robertson Unit, you know what I'm saying? All that West Texas took over the gangster shit. You feel me?
Wow.
But back then, like you say, Ferguson was a bad unit back before I went in. But when I went in, you know, Wallace, Robinson, Smith Unit, all them took over on that part, you know.
Yeah. And the reason why I want to highlight this section because it's a lot of young guys that's out here living his life and they going to jail.
Yeah.
It's you going.
Yeah.
It's things that people they're doing in this life that they got to learn the hard way.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, and before we get into this next segment, because we was in there talking about, you know, it's no excuses and all these different things like that. At this time, you were a young guy trying to find your way.
Yeah.
But in this, how did you really survive?
You talking about in prison?
In prison, like in prison. How did you survive it?
I've been fighting all my life.
So you are a fighter.
I've been fighting all my life, whether it's mentally, spiritually, or physically. I'm a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've been fighting. You know, so that's my survival tactic. You know.
Now, another thing I hear is that you learn a lot about respect on the inside.
Yeah.
So you young, going through this transition in your life, you still learning.
Yeah.
So are you reading or you know?
Yeah. I started. I did start reading. And the first thing I started reading was my Bible.
Yes.
You know, I had went to lockup early in my sentence back then, and I was in lockup for about 9 months. And the only thing they let you have, I was at a dieball unit, and the only thing they let you have in lockup was your boxers, your house shoes, and a Bible. So I was in there for like 9 months.
Why they put you in there?
I beat up a couple of policemen. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to hit. Yeah, I'm beating everybody up. The policemen, the black people, the white people, the Mexican people. I'm talking about. I think I was 3.5 years into my sentence before I realized, man, if I keep this shit up, I ain't going home. And when I realized that, I was already almost on 4 years. And back then, you have a shortwave discharge, which was like 4 years and 6 months on the 10. So 3.5 years, when I realized that, I ended up doing 4 years and 6 months on the 10. Shortwave discharge because I kept losing my class.
Wow.
You know, I beat up the policeman early. Then later on in the sentence, I beat up 2 more policemen. And I don't know, I was just on it.
Man, now we didn't disclose. Well, first, what did you really go in for?
Hustling.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler, baby. You feel what I'm saying? Anytime I fuck up, it's about money. I ain't finna fuck up behind no bullshit because anything else I can get away with. You feel what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm a hustler. You know, and that's what you ain't gonna never catch me fucking up unless it's about some money.
Yeah.
I ain't finna be out here killing a motherfucker. I ain't no hitman. I ain't none of that shit. You feel me? I'm a hustler.
Yeah, for sure. But Houston, as far as guys, they always gave me like hustler player type.
Used to be.
We macking.
Used to be.
What you mean by that?
Because now these young niggas they ain't about no money.
Oh well.
It ain't about no money. You feel me? It's that's why I tell niggas every day all that old bragging. I had seen it somewhere they talking about that people don't look up to the people with the money and the bad bitches and jewelry no more. They look at who got the most souls. And I'm like, that shit sounds so stupid. Cause nigga, you ain't got no money. As soon as you go to prison, nigga, you gonna have a nigga calling your mama calling me, asking me for $20. You feel me? But you bragging about the souls you got. You feel me? Nigga, be a hitman or something, nigga. You ain't getting no money. You know, it's crazy. You know, that's what it's about now. And that's the thing now with the streets. The streets ain't breeding hustlers no more. They breeding. I don't even want to say killers. I just say fools.
A bunch of emotional men.
Yeah, I just say fools. Ain't no killers. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.